Hi, my name is John, and I'm an addict in recovery. And I wanted to share a little bit of experience with I've been, you know, difficulty with anxiety, and I just wanted to share my experience on it. You know, like I used to like hear people um, talk about people who had anxiety, and like I would always think, oh, like they weren't able to, like they had to be able to do something physically, or you know physically or mentally, that to stop themselves from having anxiety. And for whatever reason, like, I mean, I would think that that there would be some kind of of practice, or some kind of treatment that you could do physically, or meditation, or you know you know um, exercise, or some some physical stuff that you can do to cause yourself to you know have less anxiety. And like and I thought that you could, you wouldn't have to have any kind of medication or anything for it. But and I really didn't realize what anxiety, sometimes you could even be experiencing anxiety without even knowing it. And for a long time, like I realized that I was having like I mean, I was acting a certain way for a long time. And I guess I thought it was normal for me to act that way. And I guess in some unconscious way, I was having anxiety and didn't even know it. Like I was acting out on it, didn't even know that I was acting out on it because of the way I was protecting myself. And so I like my well, anyway, my experience was that like my daughter's mother had called me up and told me that she was coming to take me to dinner. And she told me that I should get dressed up and take a shower and get dressed and everything. So I said, okay, fine. I got off the phone with her and I went to take a shower, and that's the last thing I remember. I completely blacked out, and I didn't come to until like 3 or 4 hours later. Um, and I was on the sofa in the living room, and there were people in my house that I hadn't remembered even letting in. And so anyway, they told me they had taken me to the hospital. I had gone to emergency, and that I had argued with the doctor because I told him that there was something wrong with me. And like, I don't remember any of this happening. And when they asked what the problem was, they said that I had some type of an anxiety attack, and I had blacked out as a result of an anxiety attack. And that has never happened to me. And like, I found that to be really disturbing, and having problems, like that. I mean, because I've never experienced anything like that. And anyway, so after that, I became more conscious of my anxiety, and keeping track of those certain feelings that I was having that day, and the type of feelings. And I seemed to have lost a little control over the anxiety, and being afraid that I was going to black out again. And and I kept thinking that maybe I was blacking out and didn't even know that I was blacking out, and that sometimes I could have been in a state of of like in another state without even knowing that I was there. I mean, it's kind of scary. I don't even like talking about it because it just bothers the shit out of me. And I was so afraid that it would happen again. And anyway, they gave me some medication for it. And the medication for the anxiety, that they gave me, like when they told me that I could take it whenever I was feeling the symptoms of anxiety. And it wasn't like a mind altering drug or anything like that. It wasn't anything that was drug, like you can get addicted to it. And the only thing was that whenever I took it, it seemed to have like a knockout effect on me. Like it totally knocked me out, and I wasn't good for the rest of the day. Like I couldn't function, and I couldn't, like I just couldn't function. Like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go drive. I couldn't do nothing because I was completely, like it would knock me out. Like I would be up for maybe about an hour, and then I would be asleep, and I would sleep for like, you know, 3 or 4 hours, when I was on it. And I, so I didn't really like that because I couldn't function and I couldn't do anything. And if I had to take it during the day when I was feeling any kind of anxiety, I would have to sleep the whole day, and the whole day was wasted. So, so anyway, I went back and I talked to them about, because I didn't, I want to function. I want to be able to function, and you know, I want to be able to function, and so I talked to them, and they gave me some other stuff that I had to take twice a day. But I would be able to drive, and I would be able to function and like have, and so, like the only thing was that I didn't really like the idea of having to take something every day. Like I just don't want to be under the influence of anything, because like I am in recovery, and I believe in being, like, not under any kind of influence of anything. But like, what I didn't realize is that this is different. This is almost like taking insulin, for diabetes. Um, and I didn't want to black out again. I don't want to have those symptoms. And like, I had certain defenses that I was like, like behaving. I was had certain defenses that I had built up, as a result of feeling the anxiety all the time. So I built up these defenses that I didn't even know existed, until started taking this medication. And then I realized, wow, that, like I realized that I didn't have need these defenses anymore. And like I felt so awkward because I didn't know how to act, because I no longer had the anxiety. And so I didn't need to, like, defend myself. I didn't need to, have, certain tense behaviors, or like, watch out, or like, you know like I would like it set me free in such a way, like, from taking this, medication. And like I'm still getting used to the medication. And for some reason I'm like afraid. I feel like I'm naked now in front of people. And like, I I have a hard time because I am in recovery, and like I don't want people to think, oh, he's on drugs or whatever, like. And so, like my brain, is feeding all this information as a result. So I'm having to get used to the whole idea of like having to treat myself with something, because I have no physical or mental uh, way of fighting off the anxiety, because I tried all of that. I tried the meditation, and I tried, the exercise, and I tried walking, and I still felt the anxiety, and I still was dealing with anxiety. And sometimes I was standing in the middle of my living room not knowing what to do, because I was like completely under, this anxiety that I was having. And I hate to even talk about it, because it's like, like I don't want, I don't want people judging me and like saying, oh man, he's weak and that. But I am, like, I don't know why it's happening. I don't know why it's happened now. Maybe it's because I got older. Some people tell me it's because my brain is not building, is not creating the chemicals that it needs for me to deal with stress, or to deal with, stuff that usually the brain makes. And that's what this does. It creates, the the chemicals that I need in my brain in order for me to be able to put up whatever it is that I need, so that I don't feel this crazy anxiety going on. And anyway, it's helped me. Like it totally did what it needed to do. And like I don't feel awkward as far as like, like knocked out or anything, or drowsy or anything. And if anything, like I'm just dealing with all the feelings, and the of not having to have anxiety. So like I have like this, like I need to learn how to act and how to behave, because I don't have to have these defenses anymore. So it's hard, like, you know not having to have these defenses, these defenses that I had before of fear that, had built up, and, walking around tense and stuff like that, and not even knowing it because I didn't even know that I was doing it, and, but, I'm like, I can't believe, like, how, how I feel now. And, like I get a little bit emotional, and like I feel free, like I feel like, you know, like unbelievably, free, and and it's unreal, the feelings that I have. And like I can't believe, it's just, I've been thinking about this, and I wanted to just say something. I wanted to talk about it, and like I don't really want to talk about it in a in a you know I don't really want to talk about it in me. So it's funny. I'd rather put it online. But I feel like I needed to share my experience. Maybe somebody out there is having problems with anxiety, or they don't even know that they're having problems with anxiety, but or maybe they had a blackout, and but anyway, I wanted to like let you know that taking some medication is not a bad idea, if it's gonna help. And so I've been taking this for like maybe just a month. They said that I have to take it 3 months before I can, actually get used to the idea, or like, it totally gets into my system. And I don't like the idea. I really don't, and like every part of my being wants to fight against it and say, no, I don't need to take this, and I don't need to go through this, and I should be able to do this physically and emotionally and spiritually. I should be able to fight off anxiety. And look, man, I even want to cry because I feel like this shit, like there should be a way to get, but I can't. It doesn't happen, so anyway, I just wanted to share that. I wanted to share, my, what I've been going through, and feeling about these feelings. And now I feel better. And it's, like I've noticed a lot less anxiety. And like I said, like I've been having the trying to learn how to act, how to behave, how to like be, without, because I don't have to have these defenses up anymore, or like I don't have to have like, these certain behaviors that I done built up, or that I created as a result of being anxious, and not even knowing that I was anxious, and so I'm kind of like feeling free. And and uh, and um and and it's a little scary because, like I don't, like I don't know if these, you know I don't recognize the feelings. I don't recognize what I'm feeling. I don't recognize, this new feeling, this new this new whole thing, without having any kind of, not, like not feeling any anxiety. And you know um, so if I act a little crazy in the next couple of days, or like if you see me, I don't think I am. I think it's just because, and I said the other day I felt like screaming, but it wasn't because I didn't want to scream because I was feeling bad. I wanted to scream because I was feeling so good. Like I can't believe how like free I feel, like so damn free. Like, I've been, like, some chains have been lifted, like, like I've been freed in such a way, and it has a lot to do, like even with some step work, like some things that I have been looking at, I mean, I went to a convention, and I did some things at the convention, and that helped me to realize some things about my past, and being free from those things, and facing up to them, and knowing that I wasn't alone, and that anything that I have experienced, I didn't experience it by myself. That other people were there, and that they also experienced the same thing, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I have a 12-step program. I'm so grateful that I do have a God of my understanding that I believe in, and like I don't talk. enough about the God of my understanding, but I do have one, and I do believe in Him tremendously, and I believe, you know, that He has always been there for me and taken care of me through everything, and that He continues to be there for me and continues to show me, the way, to show me, that I have nothing to really worry about. That He takes care of me. So I know this video has been long, but I guess I needed to really talk about this. And if nobody told you they love you, I love you. The God of my understanding loves you, and the process, this process that I'm in, and this process that I'm talking about, and and even sharing the way I'm sharing with you right now, has to do with all the love that has been given to me, and I want to give it back to you. So anyway, this is my way of giving it back. My way of giving back that love. And thank you for listening, and hope you understand what I'm talking about. All right, thanks for listening.